Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I am Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Hey, for those of you who've been geeking out on this channel for a while now, you know that we have had a long and very sordid history with suppressors, solvent traps, and the ATF. And most recently, our latest run-in with the ATF has been over a mass onslaught of Form 1 denials. And it has many of us wondering what's going on. So let's spend a few minutes today talking about, is the ATF doing away with all Form 1s? Okay, before we get rolling, you guys know the drill. If you like this video, click the like button. If you want to stay up to date on issues related to your Second Amendment rights, click the subscribe button. If you want to be notified when we post new videos, click the little bell logo. And most importantly, let's keep the comments and discussions coming. That's how we're making sure we're getting our videos out to more lawful and responsible gun owners like yourself. Okay, I want to thank the NRA Institute of Legal Action for tipping us off on this story. For those of you who are not NRA members, I'm not going to do a plug for the NRA, but I am going to say that the NRA ILA does an excellent job of keeping you apprised of ongoing legal issues related to your Second Amendment rights nationwide. Now, according to this story, on February 28th, and some of you watching this video may be a proud recipient of this, there was a mass onslaught of Form 1 denials. In fact, according to the article, there was roughly 850, although I have heard that it actually exceeded 2,000 denials in late February. Now, for those of you who might be a little naive as to NFA items and what the National Firearms Act is, here is a quick 1-minute crash course on that. The National Firearms Act is a large piece of federal legislation passed in 1934 in response to our ongoing organized crime problem. The NFA was created to reduce some of the weapons that were most popular amongst mafia members, including the Tommy gun or automatic weapons, short-barreled shotguns, short-barreled rifles, and suppressors, in addition, other destructive devices. Under current law, if you want to own any one of these devices, you must fill out a Form 1 if you're manufacturing them, and a Form 4 if you're purchasing them in their completed form. It must be accompanied with a $200 tax stamp. And yes, the ATF must pass their blessings on to you before you have the privilege to use that firearm. So as we know, a lot of you have gotten into building suppressors lately. And when we build a suppressor, we have always been told that when we are manufacturing an NFA item, we need to fill out a Form 1. If you're buying a completed suppressor, one that can just be added to the firearm immediately, you would fill out a Form 4. Well, as we know, some of you went out and bought what was called Form 1 kits, good, reputable manufacturers, good, reputable parts that are being assembled. You filled out your Form 1s. You guys are getting rejected now. Now, some of you went out there and bought these solvent traps from companies such as Diversified Machine and other manufacturers, and you milled them out, and you also are getting denied on your Form 1s. And so the question that we need to find out today is, what the hell's going on with all of these Form 1s? Well, as predicted in one of our earlier videos from a couple of weeks ago, yes, in typical ATF fashion, the ATF now has decided to come up with a whole new creative interpretation of what the words in the definition for silencer mean. Yes, and this is how the ATF operates. Words have meanings, unless, of course, you're the ATF, because then those meanings fluctuate depending on which way the political winds are blowing. Now, this new onslaught by the ATF is brought on by their new and creative interpretation of the words contained in 18 U.S.C. Section 921. And even though those words have remained unchanged now for decades, the ATF apparently has a new definition of the following term. Firearm silencer or firearm muffler is any device for silencing, muffling, or diminishing the report of a portable firearm, including any combination of parts designed or redesigned and intended for use in assembling or fabricating a firearm silencer or firearm muffler, and any part intended only for use in such assembly or fabrication. And so what the ATF is doing here is they're getting caught up on these words right here. A combination of parts designed or redesigned and intended for use in assembly or fabricating a firearm silencer or firearm muffler. And according to the ATF, What they are now saying is that any of these Form 1 kits, any of these solvent traps, any of these metal tubes, end caps, whatever it may be, that in their opinion, these now constitute completed silencers. And therefore, the manufacturers need to go through all the appropriate ATF channels to become a manufacturer and retailer of these devices. They failed to do so, and so therefore the components that you're getting is actually illegal contraband. But no, it gets worse than that. Because when you fill out a Form 1, you're saying that I'm going to assemble an NFA item. In this case, it's a suppressor. When we fill out a Form 4, we're saying I am receiving a completed NFA item, in this case, a suppressor. Now, if the ATF suddenly moves the goalpost like they typically do, and now they're going to constitute that the suppressor components, just the parts, constituted a completed suppressor. When you fill out the Form 1 and say, I'm going to be the one who assembles it, the problem is that the ATF already believes that it's been assembled, and somebody else did that. And now you could be accused of lying on your Form 1. And of course, if this is the ATF's new definition of what constitutes a suppressor, then there is absolutely no reason whatsoever anywhere on earth to ever fill out a Form 1 again if we're building a suppressor. Now, some of you have probably received this wonderful little information letter asking for further inquiry about what you intend on doing. And we've done a video on that, and we'll put the link for that down below. And while I get that the ATF, when we talk to people all around the country, their laws are being enforced by different agents in different ways. But this is the bottom line as far as what little advice I can give you on that. Number one, we know the ATF is not on your side. Number two, we know they are looking to reject these Form 1s in any way humanly imaginable. And any other definitions or other information that you give them is going to be used to justify that denial. And third and finally, when I see a renegade law enforcement agency going on a renegade enforcement action who clearly does not have the interest of lawful and responsible gun owners in their best interests, or certainly want to play more of the gotcha department than instead of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, it's hard for me to advise anybody to open up a channel of communications with that agency at the current time. My advice is if you've received one of these Form 1, tell us some more information type letters, you contact local counsel immediately and have them communicate with the ATF on your behalf. Listen, I'm sure this story will continue to develop as we go through the summer, and in the meantime, I'm sure you may have lots of questions about what the ATF is doing, and candidly, I don't have the answers for many of them, and many in the ATF do not. But if you do have questions, don't ever hesitate to contact us at WashingtonGunLaw.com, or of course you can call us directly at 425-765-0487. Now let's remember, part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here at Washington Gun Law, is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching, and stay safe. Hello everyone, thanks for watching Washington Gun Law TV. Hey, I want to remind all of you lawful and responsible gun owners that Washington Gun Law is going live again Monday, April 4th at 7 p.m. That's Monday, April 4th at 7 p.m. I'm sure we will have lots to talk about. We will have more follow-up from this year's bloodbath of a legislative session, and I'm sure the ATF will continue to run their train off the tracks, giving us plenty to talk about. So bring your thoughts, bring your questions, most importantly, bring yourself. Monday, April 4th, 7 p.m. right here on YouTube. We'll see you then. In the meantime, stay safe.